My involvement with rare disease started last year when I met Dr. Emil Kakis, who introduced me to two parents who had children with rare diseases. These parents had limited options, as most rare diseases do not have treatments. One parent talked about his frustration at not having any treatment options, except for a drug trial in Europe, not the United States. We talked about how we needed the FDA to properly address the issue of drug approval for the rare disease community, which led to examining the accelerated approval pathway. Then my staff looked at the issue and we developed H.R. 3737, the Unlocking Life-Saving Treatments for Rare Diseases Act, or ULTRA. I introduced this bill with my friend and colleague, Congressman Ed Towns of New York, to guide the FDA into using accelerated approval for rare diseases. It would have amended current law and explicitly state that FDA may use accelerated approval for rare diseases. You know you're onto something when 100 rare disease groups support your bill and the FDA wants to meet with you because they hate your bill. After reviewing the law further and looking at FDA's history of usage of accelerated approval and considering feedback that we received from the stakeholders, we realized that amending the law was not sufficient. The entire accelerated approval process had withered on the vine. We worked with all the stakeholders to simply rewrite the entire accelerated approval statute. In March, my colleague Towns and I introduced H.R. 4132, the Faster Access to Specialized Treatments Act, or FAST Act. FAST includes explicit language for FDA to think about the challenges of rare diseases when developing their guidance and gives the rare disease community an opportunity to publicly comment on FDA's draft guidance. FAST ensures that the voices of the 30 million Americans with a rare disease will be heard by the FDA. FAST will save lives and give a voice to the voiceless. The FAST Act was incorporated into the Food and Drug Administration Safety and Innovation Act, or the Senate Bill 3187. The Senate bill is based on user fee negotiations between the FDA and the drug, medical device, and related industries. All of us will need to educate the FDA on acceptable surrogate endpoints as we push them out of their overly cautious comfort zone. So as chairman of the Energy and Commerce Oversight Investigation Subcommittee, I know that we will be watching FDA, will hold them accountable for properly implementing this bill. And lastly, I want to take this opportunity to thank, truly, Dr. Emil Kakis, Julia Jenkins, and everyone at the EveryLife Foundation for Rare Diseases and the other 150 rare disease groups that supported FAST and ULTRA. Their support was key as we navigated the legislative process. Their team was constantly meeting with key committee staff and other members, their offices. Whenever opponents popped up, we were able to blunt their attacks using science, the truth, and a broad coalition of over 150 rare disease groups. So thank you, and I hope to see you soon.